Okay, this is the document you need to very meticulously create using your own information. Here's the specification document. Let's go through this. Roman numeral 1A, meticulously follow the example provided below, including the header block. Replace the numbers provided in the given example with your solar system 2 numbers. That's referring to this example. You need to do this, so let's go ahead and create our own brand new Microsoft Word document. Go ahead and create your own brand new Word document. The first thing maybe you should do is turn on this feature. Click on this backward P button, and that displays hidden characters, and that turns out to be very helpful. Let's create the header block. And again, I'm going to look here. This is the header block we need to create. So go ahead and choose Insert Table and create a 4x2 table. Once again, Insert Table and specify 4x2. This top left box needs to be your name. So type in your name, colon, and be very careful with capitalization and spacing and justification. We'll double check all of that. And then underneath your name, let's use partner name. It says partner one name. We should do partner name. Partner name, colon, what's next? Over here, course number dash section number, colon. So right here, course number dash section number, colon. Underneath that is lab date. Lab date with a capital L, date, colon. Okay, what else do we need to do? Let's look at the specification document. And at this point, let's look at 1B. Fit everything on one side of a single sheet of paper. 1C, adhere to all of the following. So let's do this. All font is 10-point Cambria Math. Go to your Word document and just hit Control A. Control A. Change the font family to Cambria Math. Change the font size to 10-point. There, that is done. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, what's next? C2, let's set the margins. Top and bottom is 0.5, left and right is 0.3, gutter is 0. So in your document, choose Layout, Margins, Custom Margins. Top is 0.5, 0.5, and then you can just tab over to the next window. That's bottom, so bottom is 0.5 as well. Tab to the next window. Left is 0.3, tab to the next window. Right is 0.3, tab. Gutter is 0. Say OK, and go ahead and ignore this warning message. It's basically saying, hey, if you want to print this on a printer, you might not be able to fit it all on a single sheet, and we don't care because this is submitted electronically. So I'm just going to choose ignore. Okay, what's next? The header block looks good as far as the basics, but let's see. Paragraph spacing, before 12-point, paragraph spacing, after 12-point, line spacing, single, all indents, 0.5 inches, and okay, so that's a lot. Let's do this. Let's go into your Word document, click on Home, and then go here into line and paragraph spacing. Line spacing, we need to do 12 points before, 12 PT. We need to do 12 point after, 12 PT. Line spacing was single, was it? Let's double check on that. Line spacing, I need to double check. Line spacing before 12, after 12, single line spacing, all indents 0.5. Okay, so once again, I'm going to hit Control A, go into line and paragraph spacing, line spacing options, and once again, this was 12 PT for points, after was 12 PT for points, line spacing single, and say OK. I think the last time I tried that, I didn't do a Control A. So once again, you want to do Control A, go here into line and paragraph spacing, line spacing options, 12 points before, right here, 12 points after, line spacing single. And if this box was activated, you can deactivate it. Make sure that it is not checked. There should be no check mark in this box titled "Don't add space between paragraphs of the same style." Then what else can we do? I think indents. We might save that for later, but for now we can say okay. This looks good. If I go back to the example, I need to right justify those labels. Let's do that. So select these two boxes and right justify. Select these two boxes and right justify. And then go ahead and complete this. So for your name, my name is Chris. My last name is Wood. So don't type in my name, type in your name. Your partner name, my partner is Albert Einstein. Course section, course number. For example, it's course number 211 would be a course name. Dash, the section number would be something like 145, 113. Lab date, let's just say, for example, Thursday, space, November, would that be the 10th, I think? November 10th, comma, 2022. And this content should be left justified. So right justify the labels, left justify your content, right justify these labels, left justify your content. Enter the date the way you see there, and then let's find out what's next. Okay, number 1, angular momentum at periapsis. Let's do that. This is number 1, angular momentum at periapsis, colon, and I got to be very meticulous here. Number 1, angular momentum at periapsis. Okay, and now we use equation editor. So you would make sure there's a space there, so there'd be a space, and then go ahead and choose insert equation is one way to do it. So I need to type in, going back and forth, L1 equals some number. All right, so I'm going to do L underscore 1 equals 1.7999 1.79999, I should say. And then this is E, which means times 10 to some power. So little e plus 001. And then I have to worry about units. So this would be kg. And then check this out. Backslash, that kind of slash there. I think that's called a backslash, not a forward slash. Backslash bullet, space, meters squared, so m up caret 2. And I need to put all of that in the numerator, so I'm going to just make sure your cursor is right here. Hold the shift key on your keyboard, left arrow to highlight that, and then I'm going to go up here under fraction, and I want to make sure all of that's in the numerator. And what do I need in the denominator? S for seconds. That looks good. And then the last thing here is, notice when I arrow out, notice how this box appears surrounding L1 equals 1.79, etc. That box appears and then it disappears. I'm left arrowing. Left arrow means I'm in the equation editor content. Right arrow means I'm outside of the equation editor content. So make sure you left arrow, make sure you are in the equation editor content area, and I need to do K hat period. So this would be K hat period. There's K period, so I need K hat. Position your cursor there, shift on your keyboard, left arrow to activate just that K and nothing other than just that K. And then let's go ahead. In equation, I'm going to do accent and look for the little hat, which means unit vector. And there it is. So I think this is perfect. It's not quite perfect. I can see something that's wrong. I can see I don't have a 0.5 indent. All right, so right here, I'm going to double click on this whole line and then basically just go into into my line and paragraph spacing area, line spacing options. Left should be 0. And then hanging should be 0.5. And make sure this is not checked. So this is the format for all paragraphs and lines, which is what the specification provided. Okay. That is line 1. I'm going to do line 2 here. Line 2 is angular momentum at apoapsis. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste. There's line 1, copy. Here's line 2, paste. Angular momentum at apoapsis. Angular momentum at apoapsis. Change it from L1 to L2. And look, there's another mistake, but it's not too late. Go back upstairs, highlight that L. And the way I do it typically is I just put my cursor right after the character I want to deal with, and then I hold the shift key on my keyboard down and left arrow. And that highlights just that one character, and then I'm going to go into equation, accent, and here's the vector symbol right there. Rightward arrow above. That's it. So make sure you don't do this. This would be a really common mistake. A really common mistake would be to put a vector symbol over L1, and that is not what we're looking for. This is a common mistake. That's not the specification, so I'm just going to Control Z, and I'm going to select just the L, and once again do equation, accent, and then do the little right arrow above. And then I'll do the same thing for L2. I just want the vector symbol above the L, nothing else other than the L. And I can do that by going into accent. And done with that, what do I need? What else do I need to do for the second line? 18.0001. So this is 1.8001. That looks good for my second line. Okay. Line 3, cross product matrix for angular momentum. Cross product matrix for angular momentum. Colon, space, L3 equals at T something. So once again, another way to get into equation editor is just at this point, right now at this location, I want to do some equation editing, so I can just hit Alt equals. And that would be L_3 space equals. And then I'm going to change that L from just regular L to vector L. Done with that. L3 equals at T. L3 equals, I'm sorry, L3 at T. L3 at time. So L3 at time equals 0.75 TIP. At T equals 0.75 times T underscore big I, big P, space. That's good. Colon. But I need to perfect this. I need to put a space between that subscripted 3 and that ampersand, that at sign. So that looks good. And there needs to be a bullet operator between 5 and T. So put your cursor between 5 and T, backward slash bullet, space, done. So let's examine this. Cross product matrix for angular momentum, colon. Cross product matrix for angular momentum, colon. There should be a space between the colon and the L. There should be a space before the at sign. And be careful, if I put a space here, that would be incorrect. So that's not the kind of space I'm looking for. I'm looking for a full size, a regular size, non-subscripted space that's before that at sign. And then everything else is good at T equals 0.75 bullet operator T underscore IP, which stands for interactive physics. And that's good to go for line 3. Let's open up a new line. What's next? Now we have to do a bunch of equation editing. L3 equals R cross P equals MR cross V. So let's do that. Alt equals L underscore 3 equals R cross P. So I'm going to do R, and I'm not going to, this would be wrong. Typing an X, that's incorrect. Typing a capital X, that's incorrect. Choose this operator here. This is called multiplication sign. So it's R cross P, got it, equals MR cross V, and I guess that's it. And I just have to do some updating. This L should be a vector. Done. R and P should be a vector. R is now going to be a vector, and P is going to be a vector. And then I just need to make vectors out of this R and that V. So maybe I could have copied and pasted and just updated, but good to go with this line right here. The one thing I have to do though, let me finish this. L3 equals R cross P equals MR cross V. So L3, make sure the vector symbol doesn't appear over the number 3, equals R cross P equals MR cross V. But notice this can't be numbered, so I'm going to turn off the numbering, left justify, and then go ahead and increase indent there. So this is perfect so far, I think. This line right here is perfectly lined up with the stuff that is above it. That's good for that line. The next line is actually typing in the cross product setup content. So for me, it will be equals 2 kilograms. Let's do that. So this is going to be, I'm going to enter, equals, enter, I should say. Let me back up. Enter, and then alt equals, because we still need to do equation editing, and this would be within equation editor, equals, and I'm not going to type in parentheses. I'm going to choose the bracket option because these will resize as needed, and I need to type in 2.1234 5 zeros E plus 000 kg, and there needs to be a space. That looks good. And I guess that is good for the 2.50 E plus 000 kg. That looks good. And now I'm going to create a 3x3 matrix. So I'm going to do that by making sure I'm in equation editor mode, which I'm not. So I'm going to left arrow, and there. Now that you see that box turn on surrounding that content, that means you have been re-welcomed back into the world of equation editor. I'm going to go ahead and click equation, choose matrix, and I need a 3x3 matrix. So there it is. Do I need that matrix? Yeah, I need that 3x3 matrix. This is I hat, so I'm going to type in I for the I hat vector, the unit vector, accent, put the little hat on, and then maybe at this point, can I do this? Can I just copy that content, Control C, and then go over here, Control V, and just change it from I hat to J hat, and then I'll do the same thing here. I'm just pasting, and I don't want to choose this whole character with the unit vector symbol, so I'm making sure, and I'm doing shift arrows. I basically do almost everything via shift arrows. I just need to highlight that and change it to K. So there's I hat, J hat, K hat, and then I have to fill in my data, 1.07386. This is 1.07386. 1.07386 e to the 0, e plus 123, got it, and then space, meters, got it. My next content is negative 1.23250, negative 1.23250 e plus 000 meters. This is I'm specifying my position vector, which is the distance from the AOR to the satellite, space meters. And then my k-hat vector is 0.12345 e to the plus 123 space meters. And that looks good for my position vector content. And then for my, this would be velocity. For my velocity data, it's 5.5808. 5.58080 e plus 123 space meters per second. That looks good. 5.58080. 5.58080. That's VY. That's VX. VY is 196,750. 1.196,750 e plus 000 space meters per second. 196,750. 196,750. Just double checking. And then my k-hat velocity, or my z velocity, is 0.12345 e plus 123 space meters per second. I think this is good, just checking for mistakes. Hopefully there's not a glitch. That would be embarrassing. But I'm ready to put brackets around this because we're using this matrix operation, this Sarris's method, or whatever it is you're going to use. But regardless, I need to enclose this in brackets. So I'm going to highlight this content so you can see everything in this equation editor block is highlighted. Not everything, but this matrix is highlighted. I'm going to go up here under bracket, and somewhere here there's some brackets right there and there. Now I have everything enclosed in brackets, and I'm just going to hotkey back and forth to make sure I'm not making any mistakes. 2E00 kg 12345 107836, yes. Negative 123250, yes. 5.58080, 5.58080, 196,750. Okay, I think this is all good. Being very meticulous with spacing and alignment, and that is good. I think I'm ready for this next line down here. So a new line, Alt equal, and then type in equals 1.8, 1.8, 1234, E plus 001 space kilogram kg / bullet space meter squared space, and then I want to put all of that in my numerator. So I'm just going to, once again, I'm just doing shift left arrow or shift right arrow. Shift arrow key is your best friend. Change that to a fraction, and in the denominator goes seconds, and then I need a k-hat here. So again, you can see right now I'm out of equation editor mode. Now I'm going into equation editor mode, which I need to be. And there's k, shift left arrow, equation, accent, little unit vector symbol, and that's good. I think so. Now the one last thing I have to do is I have to align all of these equals. Notice in this example here, these equal signs are all nicely aligned. So here goes my attempt to make that happen. All right, I want to make this all one giant piece of equation editor content. So I'm going to put my cursor right here, just within this first equation editor content block. Hit the delete key there. So you can see I kind of joined the first and second line. Do the same thing over here. Put your cursor just inside of the equation editor block. So I don't want to be over here. I want to be to the furthest right side of my equation editor block while still remaining in the equation editor block. Like right here, I'm outside of the equation editor. Left key there, I'm back in, and hit the delete key again. So right now, you're looking at all of this content existing as one contiguous Microsoft Equation Editor block. So I need to align the equal sign. So I'm going to go for the second equal sign, not that one, but this one. So left click here, right click, and then choose Align at this character. Got it. And then I need to put an equal sign. I need to align this equal sign. So put your cursor right here before this equal sign. Now do the following. Shift Enter. When you do a Shift Enter, you're inserting a line break, but it's not a paragraph break. Because if you did a paragraph, if I did this, for example, if I just did Enter, then I've broken my equation editor content. So you put your cursor right there, right before that equal sign, Shift Enter, and then right click at that blinking cursor. Make sure your cursor is right before that equal sign. Right click, align at this character. So you can see how those two equal signs are perfectly aligned. Last but not least, as far as the alignment is concerned, put your cursor right before this equal sign and then Shift Enter. And then with that cursor blinking, or if it's not blinking there, maybe you accidentally moved your cursor. Move your cursor back so it's blinking right before that equal sign. Right click and choose Align at this character. So there you can see it. You can see how these equal signs are all very nicely aligned, which is the way it should look. The one other thing I can see I need to do here is my spacing is off. So do this. Highlight this equation editor block. This is a single block of equation editor content because we did line breaks, not paragraph breaks. Then go with this highlighted, go ahead into line and paragraph spacing, choose line spacing options, and because equation editor is its own sort of entity, I'm going to change the line spacing from single to double, because this is just a single line and we want to have every line have 12 points before and 12 points after. So technically speaking, this equation editor block is a single line, but we're line breaking, so that's why we did what we did. Let me just repeat that one more time. I'm highlighting all of that. I'll hit Control Z. Everything looks good here. I just need to, again, make it appear 12 points before and 12 points after. And I'll do that by selecting this content, choosing line and paragraph spacing, choosing line spacing options, and line spacing changed from single to double, and say OK. So I think that's it. One quick glance here. I'm just going to hotkey back and forth. I'm going to look at my header block. I think that's good, isn't it? I guess the one thing no, this is good. This is good. I'm looking at line 1, and again, you're gonna replace these numbers with your numbers. These are just for example only. Your numbers are clearly going to be different. 1 looks good. Angular momentum at periapsis. Worry about the spacing. Okay, line 2, angular momentum at apoapsis. And I think this is good. Number 3, cross product matrix for angular momentum. Be very dedicated to proper spacing and subscripting and alignment. L3. Okay, and then last but not least, my matrix. I think this is good. Oh, one thing I can see, this is what happened. Equation editor kind of verticalized my my units here, so I'm just going to, again, shift arrow, and then just change that to meter per second and leave it horizontal. Put the space there. There's probably a way to tell equation editor not to do it, but for now I'm just going to manually redo it. And last fix meters per second. Insert the space, and I think that's good to go. And then you'll finish this. You will put a screen snip of your solar system here, and then make sure you follow all of these specifications. Okay. The one thing you don't have to do is you don't have to do the drawing requirements. So that means 4 through 9. You don't need to do those, so we can cross those out for now. But you do need to do 1, 2, and 3. Yes, that looks good. Okay, I think that's good to go. See you guys later.